Hey, so I just wanted to nerd out on some Path of Exile 2 footage. This is from Wadio. He uploaded gameplay that he played of the Mercenary and the Monk, and he gave a short review of what he played in the beginning of his video. I'm going to skip ahead to the Monk footage. That's the one I'm more interested in right now. We'll go over that, and he does hover over a lot of skills and stuff on the passive skill tree, so which is great, so that we can look at it and see what's on there, and some of them he just kind of like breezes by and he doesn't really stop and read them, but if we pause the video we can actually see everything. So let's watch the Monk footage and then let's check out the passives. Alright, so here it is. He's using Falling Thunder and regular attack so far. That was a little bit of Tempest Flurry there. And you can see the enemies are getting marked to be culled by Killing Palm, but hasn't used it, so I'm guessing he's just kind of been dropped into this area with this build, and he's just trying to get the feel for it right now, it looks like. Like, he probably doesn't know what everything does, you know? So he's kind of spamming Falling Thunder there. Okay, he's like, alright, that's what that does. There's Frozen Lotus. There's a little Tempest Flurry right there. You can see the lightning bolt that came down there. Oh, dude. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed that, but he started Tempest Flurry, went into Frozen Lotus with the little ice flower thing, and then finished Tempest Flurry with a lightning bolt. That was really cool. Here, let me play that again for you really quick. I'll point it out. Ready, Tempest Flurry, and then Lotus, and then the end of Tempest Flurry, which did AoE damage and exploded the Frozen Lotus. This is why I'm so excited to play Monk, dude. You can literally start combos and interrupt the combo with other moves, and then finish the combo of Tempest Flurry. That's so awesome. That's like, you can do that in games like Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry, and like Final Fantasy 16 and stuff like that. You can do combos like that in those games. So it's excellent that they've paid attention to other action games for things like that. Seriously, that has me so excited to play Monk, that you can string together the combos like that and interrupt them and finish them still. It's so great. Okay, so look, faster attacks. That was on... So he's got support gem, faster attacks, 20% more attack speed, 10% less damage. That's just on his regular quarterstaff attack. And then he's got perpetual charge, which is on, I think it's on Falling Thunder. This is great on there because think about it. If you get 3 power charges, you can slam the ground with Falling Thunder, do big damage, and then potentially have a second big damage fully charged Falling Thunder right after if you get perpetual charge to proc. There's Falling Thunder, and what else he's got? He's got Killing Palm, so hopefully he's like reading this going, oh, Culling Strike, okay. What's the support there for Killing Palm, I wonder? So he's reading it, he's like, Killing Palm, okay. Culling Strike. Oh, look, he's trying it now. Alright, so this, he should probably start to get the hang of this now after reading that, because once you get Killing Palm going, then you're going to be in business. Little Frozen Lotus there. Oh, he almost died. That's pretty good use of that. They all crashed into the Lotus there. I kind of wish that he wouldn't have the overlay of the map up at all times. Just, it's not horrible or anything, but it's... If you're someone that's viewing the game, like you're not the one playing, you know, if you're not playing, it is nice if the person playing puts the map out of the way so you can see a little better. So that was some more Tempest Flurry there. So I haven't seen him Killing Palm anything yet still. He's just spamming Falling Thunder over and over again. Yeah. That's got to be the tendency for a lot of people that play our ARPGs as well, is like, what's my strongest move? I'm just going to use that, you know? And this game doesn't want you to do that, right? So there's going to be a lot of that from people, I think, when they're first playing, is they're going to have all these different skills, and they're just going to be using like one or two the whole time. No mana. So these are magic enemies. They're a little stronger. They're blue, with a blue name. See if he gets a killing. And there he goes. So he's got some power charges. There he goes. Oh, you know what? He got 2 power charges, it looks like. Hang on. So he has no power charges. And then Killing Palm, he gets 2. So you know what? I think the support gem that's on Killing Palm might be something that gives you an extra power charge then. Maybe. I don't know. Because how did he get 2? Unless he called 2 enemies at the same time. I'm not sure. Alright, so he's back to the gameplay. He used Falling Thunder with charges that time. He just got 2 power charge. Oh, it didn't use them that time. See that? Killing Palm, dude. He did it. All right, and he's got 3 charges. Let's see if he uses them this time. Let's see if he uses them. Oh, there he goes. Look at that. Yeah, so I think he's got it. He's got it figured out now. He's like, okay, that worked out pretty good. That's what I need to do. That one guy with the yellow mark instead of the blue one, that's for staggering palm. So you can get those projectiles to shoot out. No mana. If you watched my Lightning Monk theory craft, that was one of the points I made in the beginning of the video, is that videos that I watch people play, they run out of mana really fast. It seems like with some of these melee builds, and so that would be something that I would prioritize if I was playing, is I would try to figure out how I could get my mana replenishing a lot, I think. Killing Palm again, there he goes. There are those checkpoints everywhere too, that's nice.
What wonders and horrors.
Wonders and horrors. Good voice acting. Here's the map. I will say that something that I think would take this game's quality to the even next level would be no loading screens. It's not necessary, but that's something that like Diablo 2 doesn't really have. Like if you're in an act in Diablo 2, you can just like run out the town and just go. And like for the most part, just continue on, and every area just connects to the next. This game doesn't do that. There's like loading screens in between all these different areas and everything. I think, and it's fine. It's not going to make or break the game, in my opinion. But I think the quality level would be even higher if all of the areas connected seamlessly. There you go. Killing Palm twice. And then Falling Thunder with 2 charges. Pretty much killed everything, almost. I really like that, man. I really like the culling strike of Killing Palm. I think that's really cool. Seems very satisfying to use. See, now he's really doing it. He's doing it a lot now. Look how much better he's doing now that he's using Killing Palm and then using Falling Thunder with charges. Dude, it wasted those big dudes with just one charge. Group them all and use it. Use it. Okay, that was so... Look, it wiped the entire screen. Literally nothing survived that. And look at the freaking... The lightning, how it paved, like... It cut into the sand or whatever and everything. It looks so sweet. It just carved right into the ground. That's so sick. Once again, would be nice if you would get rid of the map. Just so we can see a little bit better, but oh well. Like if you're showcasing something, it's just kind of nice for people who are watching, you know? Whoa, we almost died there. So look, he has 3 charges left after using Falling Thunder there, so his perpetual charge support kicked in. You can see right there too how much more damage just the regular attack did than the Killing Palm. Like the Killing Palm on its own. Let's look at the enemy health bar here. So look, watch the enemy health bar with Killing Palm when it doesn't call the, you know, it just does damage. Look, it went from like here to here with Killing Palm, just the regular physical damage. It's barely anything. And then watch how much just the regular attack does. Killed him. Like that regular attack, just boom, guy's dead. So Killing Palm as like just its regular damage is really bad. So you have to use it in the right circumstance. There you go. Get your power charge. Oh, he's gonna group them all here. He's gonna group them all together. Oh, he got interrupted. There it goes. It just seems so satisfying to me. I mean, like... Yeah, that's great. I think that's super fun. I for sure want to play Monk first in November. Tornado's messing him up. That was cool. He used the Killing Palm to kind of zip in. There, he went 3% increased attack speed, I guess. Probably not really going to feel that very much. See, that was really cool. Once again, you can see he used the beginning of Tempest Flurry on the first enemy up here. Watch. So he uses Killing Palm to just rush over to this guy. He does Tempest Flurry, the first 2 parts of the combo on him. 1, 2. And then he does the ending of Tempest Flurry on the bottom enemy here. On this guy down here. There. And it shocked him too. So if you had Siphoning Strike, you could then, bam, hit him with the back of your Quarterstaff and get another power charge. But I don't think he has Siphoning Strike on this build. If he gets a skill gem, he could do that, though. He could get Siphoning Strike. Titan Grotto.
The Third Pact speaks of this. I'm not supposed to be here.
So he's starting to figure out that like Tempest Flurry actually might be pretty good for just like regular pack clearing. I think he's starting to figure that out right here. Because he just used it a bunch there. Oh look, he's using it again. And it just took them all out. Yeah. So he's like, oh, that's actually pretty good for those. This is like just like what I talked about in my Lightning Monk Theorycraft video. He's like, is there something supposed to happen here? Like, what? Dude, it just killed that spider. Pretty good. Killing Palm, nice. Dude, I can't wait to get this game. Look how fun it looks. Look how fun it looks to do all the different combos and set up your big finishing moves and stuff. Okay, that was great. Did you see that? That's what I'm talking about. Tempest Flurry is like ridiculously good for pack clearing. He's just, yeah, look at that. Oh, he almost died. He's slowed from the spider web. There you go, you got big 3 charges now. That Frozen Lotus too, man, that's so good. Like, that like you should just drop that every time, you know. Oh, I didn't use the power charges. Whoops. There's a magical enemy, so he's a little bit stronger. So he tried to use Killing Palm on that one, but it doesn't work because this guy is not able to be culled, but he can be hit with Staggering Palm for a stun. But I don't think he's using that ability. I think he has it equipped maybe though, but he just doesn't realize that he has that he could use it. But like I said before, he just got dropped into this like character. So it's not like he fashioned this character himself. Sweet. That's a rare, it looks like, I think. Yikes. Nice. That did like a quarter of his health or more, maybe 30%. Oof, he's getting beat up pretty bad now. See, I like how he's kind of struggling here too. This is good. You want the game to have this level of difficulty at points, especially when you run into a rare or something, because it lets in. It's a check to see if you actually know what the heck you're doing. Yeah, look, he almost died again. There is out of flasks too. There you go. Killing Palm that dude. Oh, he missed it. He is dangerously close here. Nice. Killing Palm, dude, you got it. I love how he's got no flasks left, and he's just gotta use his evasive moves and just kite enemies. He got it. See, that was so cool. I love that he had to like really, you know, dig into his skill list to try to get out of that. I really like that. Well, there's a rare he identified. It's got 1 to 16 lightning damage, 1.11% to critical strike chance, 11 dex, 11 intelligence. Okay. Nothing too crazy there. He did get some flasks back, some health flasks back from killing that rare as well. Yeah, it would be cool if like Ascendancies changed your dodge roll in some way to fit the archetype even more. You know, like instead of just rolling for like some kind of Ascendancy for a monk, maybe he just like quick dashes, or he like twirls even, or like does like a cartwheel, like a no-handed cartwheel, like, you know, like that would be sweet. I do hope that like the dodge roll gets some love in the game for the different Ascendancies. I hope there's like a little blink for like certain types of Ascendancies and stuff like that. And I hope there's uniques that change it and all that kind of stuff too. There's gotta be, right? Like this game is all about tweaking and altering things. You'd think it'll be in there. So here's the Colossus boss, right? We've seen this before. Let's see how he does though. So he started with some Tempest Flurry there, and it barely did any damage. It looks like the boss has high fire res. Or wait, this looks like a snowflake, but it's red, so I'm a little confused by that. So this is body armor. That looks like a snowflake, and that looks like a flame. Why is the snowflake red, though? I don't know. Like, shouldn't that be blue? And then, well, that 30% was that the, like he's 30% on the way to being shocked, or what is that? So, yeah, look, the guy's shocked, and it says 30%, 36%. What does that mean? Like, why is that number changing like that? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the difference between the 30% and the 36% is for that shock. That was pretty good. The ending hit of Tempest Flurry does a lot of damage, man. Oh, dang, man. How much life did he have there? Oh, that was a one-shot kill. He had full life. Yeah. That was a one-shot kill, dude. By the Dreamer. So he has no way to get power charges right now. And so this is where I think Shock Siphon would really come in handy. Because every time he shocks the boss, he would just be able to hit him with the back of his quarterstaff and get a power charge. So that's what I would do. I would use that move for sure for bosses. I think it's called Siphoning Strike. I can't remember. What did I say? Did I say Shock Siphon? I think I meant Siphoning Strike. There it is. So he shocked him, and it's too bad he doesn't have something to get a power charge, you know. So he can't dish out big damage. I'm definitely gonna want to try to play with WASD, I think, just so that I can get used to it right away, because I do believe that WASD will be the best way to play the game once you're used to it. It seems like you'll have the most control of everything. So we'll see, but I'm pretty sure I want to start that way, because whatever way you start playing is the way you're going to be used to, and then it's going to be hard to like switch, you know. So there, he's got some power charges now from those enemies, but like that didn't even do that much damage when he did that. That was smart. He realized that you had to stand there behind it. This is a long boss fight, seriously. I think, you know, what would make this boss fight go a lot faster, though, is if you gave yourself something to break armor or something, you know, like some kind of armor break capability would probably help you out a lot on this boss. He's just kind of like chipping away at him, and it's not like he, you know, he didn't make this character. He just started the game up and they just gave him this character, I think. And they're like, here you go. And I don't think he didn't have much time to like sit there and go through all the skills and everything and find a bunch of support gems and find a bunch of uncut skill gems, you know. But I think that's something that like I'll be thinking about when I play the game is like, yeah, I probably want something that can break some armor somehow, especially for like a boss fight, like a long fight like this. I'm gonna want that, and then I'm gonna want the ability to get power charges from the boss, so I don't have to rely on enemies, you know, that I can cull. And I think all of that will be achievable at this stage of the game. You know, and just on another note, this boss fight is awesome. Like the only ARPG I play is Diablo 2, and there is absolutely nothing this involved in the entire game of Diablo 2. Like, the floor is like disappearing, there's like enemies coming at you, like there's all kinds of AoE moves, and the boss is moving around the rim of the disc that you're on that is being destroyed. Like, yeah, this is like Act 2. There's some random boss, you know, or not random, but it's, you know, this is just Act 2. Like, it seemed like that was part of the quest line, you know. Oh, he's gonna identify some rares. Oh, he's gonna identify them quickly, I guess. There you go. What's this rare? Fate Coat, Silk Robe. 50 maximum energy shield, 59 life, 7.3 life per second. 14% increased energy shield. Has 139 energy shield, but he doesn't have enough intelligence to wear it. And then we have Dusk Crusher Cultist Great Hammer. Strike skills deal splash damage to surrounding targets. 3 to 7 fire damage, 10 strength, leeches 5.72% of physical damage as life, gain 4 life per enemy killed. Step Like Mist. 4% increased movement speed, 14% increased evasion rating, 14% increased maximum energy shield, 5 to dex and intelligence. Yeah, why wouldn't you grab that? This is just increased stun threshold. If you haven't been stunned recently, 40%. Life on kill. Life from death. It says recover 3% of life on kill. First strike. 50% increased damage with daggers against enemies that are on full life. So we know the shadow is going to start in the same spot as the monk, essentially. Resonating impact. 15% increased area of effect for staff attacks. So more AoE just with your staff. A deadly mechanism. 30% increased cooldown recovery rate for throwing traps. We haven't seen anything for traps yet in PoE 2. Evasion and energy shield notable. 18% increased evasion rating, 18% increased maximum energy shield. This one below it is 40% increased evasion rating while you have energy shield. Shock effect notable. Ooh, that's interesting. If you saw my video on lightning monk theory crafting, where we just kind of go over a lot of lightning-based skills and stuff that could work with a lightning-based monk. 15% increased effect of shock. Sounds like it would be pretty good. So here's my question. What is the maximum shock debuff, you know? So they take more damage from shock. Like, when they're shocked, they can take more damage, right? So 15% increased effective shock? What's the maximum? Like 50% or something? Lust for power. 20% chance that if you would gain power charges, you instead gain up to your maximum number of power charges? +1 to maximum power charges. That seems really good. And that's not even that far from where you start. Look at this. Like, if you just went down this route over here, you could get... That seems really good. A 20% chance you get maximum power charges +1 to power. So you could get 4 power charges by like Act 2. That seems really good. All right, Siphon. 25% increased amount of mana leached. Okay. Energy Thief. 10% faster start of energy shield recharge. 50% increased evasion rating if energy shield recharge has started in the past 2 seconds. I could see how that could be useful on Monk, since you're just dodging a lot more attacks now all of a sudden once your energy shield goes back up. Seems pretty good. Okay, so increased ailment threshold. Opportunist. 40% increased damage if you've dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds. That makes me think of inevitable critical support. You're going to get this like every time. There's another support gem as well. Yeah, it's called Ambush. That's right. I found this off of a different playthrough. And basically it's a support skill that hits enemies, making it more likely to critically hit enemies on a full life. So Opportunist, if you had that ambush support skill, you could do 40% increased damage if you dealt a critical strike in the past 8 seconds. That would happen all the time. I mean, with that ambush and then with inevitable critical on something, here's just 40% damage. Now, here's the thing about this, though, is if you look at this, I don't see where this connects to anything on the passive skill tree. See, look, it's just floating here. So how do you get there? Is that just because it's incomplete, or is there something that I don't realize in the passive skill tree of Path of Exile? Like, how do you jump over to that? Life recoup notable. 6% of damage taken recouped is life. 3% of damage taken recouped is life, and 3% as well. This is just a regular stat node. You can get 5 intelligence, dex, or strength. Killer Instinct, 25% increased attack damage. 10% increased attack speed. Here's another one, 10% increased attack damage. This is 3% increased attack speed. Life on kill. Recover 1% of life on kill. Oh, look at this. Okay, Darkness. 25% increased chaos damage. That's right there in the, this is right there inside the Monk and Shadow section. You could grab those as a monk for some purpose. Corrupted Monk build. And then here's another one. 25% increased effective poison. Here's a question for you Path of Exile people. What is the difference between chaos and poison in Path of Exile? Is that a difficult question? Is that... I don't know. So far, they seem like they're kind of the same thing. But then not. I don't understand. Alright, Immortal Thirst. 25% increased amount of mana leached. And then Immortal Infamy. Recover 2% of life on kill. Spell Haste. 10% increased cast speed. Alright, and then there's Spell Blade. 32% increased spell damage. So I wonder if things like that are worth picking up. If you're going to have, like, chance to cast on shock type of meta gem, like on a monk or something. Maybe something like that would be worth getting then, if you were trying to use those effects. Oh, and then he just zipped way over to the edge of the skill tree. And this is that section where it looks like the nodes form a quarterstaff. And this says quarterstaff speed notable. 10% increased attack speed with staves. 20% increased stun buildup. 20% increased knockback distance. I wonder about knockback distance for things. I wonder if there's going to be things that are like stronger depending on how much knockback you administer. Kind of makes me wonder too about like a wind style monk, Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. We have seen like whirling assault, and we have seen that other move where he smacks the air with his quarterstaff, like he swings the quarterstaff almost like a baseball bat, and it like shoots wind out and knocks enemies back. Okay, and then this is 25% increased damage with staves, 4% increased attack speed with staves, 10% increased attack speed with staves. Martial artistry, 25% to critical strike multiplier with staves. I'm not sure how the math would be done on that, but it sounds like that's really strong. Maybe someone can tell me. But 25% to critical strike multiplier sounds like it could be pretty good. Okay, quarterstaff speed, 4% increased attack speed with staves. And then we have unarmed damage, 30% increased attack damage for unarmed damage. That's really cool. I really do hope there is like an unarmed martial arts style monk build that you could make. Maybe even like an ascendancy for it. And is like, what would that look like, you know? Is he gonna have like Ip Man style, like where he's like rapid machine gun punching with his fists. And I don't know, that does sound really cool. Serrated Edges, 30% increased attack damage. Arcane Thirst, 35% increased amount of mana leached. Leech mana 50% slower though. Mana leech, 10% increased mana leech. And the other one was attack damage, 10% increased attack damage. And then this is more mana leech, 10% increased attack damage. And then this is global accuracy. What was that? Yeah, 10% increased global accuracy rating. Here's just a regular +5 to any attribute. Eternal Youth. Energy Shield Recharge applies to life instead. Life Flasks apply to Energy Shield instead. So I'm not sure what to think about that, because I feel like we need a lot more information and time with the game to discover how useful that could be on a build. Large Jewel Socket. So I haven't played Path of Exile 1, so I have no idea what this could be. I imagine it's probably really good, though. It's on the outside of the tree. You can probably put something in there and get all kinds of new effects and stuff and passives for your character. And then a basic Jewel Socket. Okay. All right, hang on. He hovered over something. Pocket Sand. And then it just says unallocated. Huh. There's nothing there. Like, what is that? We don't know. 10% increased chaos damage. 25% increased chaos damage. 10% increased chaos damage. 3% increased attack speed. Cold penetration. Damage penetrates 10% cold resistance. Seems good. And then he quickly hovered over this. Elemental damage. 10% increased elemental damage. Does that apply for everything? Is it spells and attacks and everything? I kind of assume so. Elemental notable, 25% increased elemental damage. So yeah, that's my question. If I have Tempest Flurry, which does some lightning damage, does this increase the damage of that? If I have Cast on Shock and it emits Arc, or thunder, one of the storm abilities, Lightning Storm, does this increase the elemental damage of those spells? And then here's Lightning Penetration. Damage penetrates 10% lightning resistance. That would go good on my Lightning Monk theory craft, And then Poison Chance Notable. 50% increased chance to poison. He just flew by a bunch of stuff. So this is just a 5 to any attribute node. And then 8% increased projectile speed. 8% increased area of effect for attacks. Close Call, 20% increased stun threshold, 20% increased freeze threshold. So we have 8% increased projectile damage, 5 to any attribute. Accuracy, 6% increased global accuracy rating. Oh, he's going way down to the bottom here, south. And he's zoomed in over here. Maximum attack totems notable. Attack skills have +1 to maximum number of summoned totems. So marks notable, 12% increased effect of your marks. Does that include enemies that can be culled by, Killing Palm? Are those considered marked enemies? I think so, right? I wonder, does that mean you can cull them sooner with things like this? Marked enemy takes 5% increased damage. 15% increased global accuracy. And more accuracy. Marks. 12% increased effect of your marks. And this is 5% increased effect of your marks. This is marks notable. Culling Strike against marked enemies. Culling Strikes kill normal enemies if their life is at 30% or below after the hit. Magic enemies are instead killed at 20%, rare at 10%, and unique at 5%. I think this is improving Culling Strike on marked enemies. So that's kind of a nice notable if you were really going to be utilizing things like Killing Palm and stuff. Then you have 5% increased effect of your marks, 12% increased effect of your marks, 12% global accuracy, 5% global accuracy rating. This is one-handed attack speed, 10% increased damage with one-handed weapons. Well, that's weird. It says one-handed attack speed, but then it says 10% increased damage with one-handed weapons. Is that a typo? One-handed attack speed notable, 25% increased damage with one-handed weapons. Seems like they mislabeled that. Okay. Boss Slaying. 16% increased damage with hits against rare and unique enemies. And then Boss Slaying notable. 10% increased attack speed while a rare or unique enemy is nearby. I mean, this would seem like not that great probably, except that there are going to be a lot of bosses in the game. Pretty good then for that. 40% increased damage with hits against rare and unique enemies. That's a lot of 40%? Yeah. And like I said, there's a lot of bosses in the game, so... Lightning penetration. Damage penetrates 4% lightning resistance. Okay. So we're like way on the left side over here now. At 8% increased area of effect for attacks. 8% increased area of effect for attacks. 12% increased area damage. And then we have a cold notable. 30% increased damage with hits against chilled enemies. That would seem like it'd be pretty good in a lot of cases. The monk... This is the opposite side of the tree from where the monk is, though. Fire notable, 30% increased damage with hits against ignited enemies. And then lightning notable, 30% increased damage with hits against shocked enemies. That'd be cool for the monk, right? Since he has a lot of ways to shock enemies with quarterstaff. It's like, how would you get something like that, though? I guess you'd have to path your way all the way over there, you know, instead. Do something really off meta. I'm interested to do things like that in playthroughs eventually. I think it'll be fun. Start a monk and then just go the opposite direction on the skill tree and just see how it works out. I think it'll be pretty fun. Especially if you can pick up things like that. It's like there's going to be you'll have ways to dish out more damage, I think. Alright, so he flew over some stuff here. Let's see. Life recoup. 3% of damage taken recoup his life. And another one, 3% of damage taken recoup his life. Reverberation. Spell skills have 20% increased area of effect. That seems pretty good. Spell area of effect. Spell skills have 8% increased area of effect. Minion life. Minions have 10% increased maximum life. Necromantic Talisman. All bonuses from an equipped amulet apply to your minions instead of you. I wonder what that'll do. That sounds cool. I don't know. Like, we obviously don't know what kind of amulets would be best in slot for something like that, but it sounds cool. Here's a question too. If you grab this passive, can you like turn it off? I guess you can unallocate it somehow by refunding it, maybe, if you can't. Just curious, like, if you grab this, are you just like screwed? It's like, now all my amulets only work on minions. Alright, he hovered over a bunch of stuff again. Minion defense notable. Minions have 20%. Have plus 20% to all elemental resistances. That's good. Minions have 5% to all maximum elemental resistances. That's pretty good. That's not even too far out there on the tree. Like, you can still see the starting point. And next, he flew over. Minions have 4% increased attack and cast speed. And same thing there. 4% increased attack and cast speed. Whispers of Doom. You can apply an additional curse. Double activation delay of curses. Yeah, additional curse sounds good. Like, if you could do that in Diablo 2, it would be ridiculously strong. Alright, so he flew over this. I almost missed it. Triggers notable. Triggered spells deal 45% increased spell damage. Okay, so that means... So there's... It seems like then you could totally make something like Cast on Shock on a monk worthwhile. And like, even though you're not going into spell damage, it seems like there are things like this you could get to make those viable. Obviously limited in information here, but it's nice to see that if I wanted to put spells in Cast on Shock and play monk and use lightning quarterstaff abilities, this might be something that I have to pick up in order to make that better. Triggered spells deal 18% increased spell damage. Cool, dude. So, and this is kind of like northeast, upper right. So this is sort of in the direction of the monk. Yeah, interesting. Ghost Reaver. Life Leech is converted to Energy Shield Leech. Some weird stuff. Yeah, huh. Conduit. If you would gain a charge, allies in your presence gain that charge instead. So I wonder if there are certain minions that you can get that use charges. If not, then this is solely for co-op modes, I guess. It might be actually fun to build out a character who is specifically designed to buff the party. 5 to any attribute. 10% increased critical hit chance for spells. Ancestral Bond. Unlimited number of summoned totems. Totems reserve 50 spirit each. I don't know what the implications of that are. It sounds like it's something that's waiting to be exploited. But with the spirit reserve, it seems like there's a pretty easy way for them to make sure it doesn't get out of hand, right? Okay, let's see. 8% increased maximum mana, rapid recharge, 15% increased energy shield recharge rate, 15% faster start of energy shield recharge. Zealot's Oath. That sounds like a Templar thing, doesn't it? Life regeneration is applied to energy shield instead. Pain Attunement. 30% less critical damage bonus when on full life. 30% more critical damage bonus when on low life. I don't love that exactly, but I wonder if there's a way to take advantage of that, keep your life low. Is low life just considered a percentage, though, of your maximum? This one, Ignite effect on you. Nothing showed up, so either he went over it too fast or they didn't have it filled out yet. And then he has Ignite Chance notable, 15% increased chance to ignite, 15% increased chance to ignite again, and then plus 15% to fire resistance. Blood Magic removes all mana. Skills cost life instead of mana. That's cool. I could see how that could be really useful, especially if you have like a ton of regeneration and lifesteal and life after kill. You just have like 5 life flasks instead of mana flasks. Just don't use mana anymore. Avatar of Fire. 50% of damage converted to fire damage. Deal no non-fire damage. So this is interesting. I swear I've seen this on another video and it said 75% of damage converted to fire damage though. So I think that I think this has already been tweaked in a different build of the game. It is kind of interesting. Also the title, Avatar of Fire. What I said earlier about, you know, the avatar of air or wind. I wonder if the monk will have an ascendancy that is like the last Airbender. Just kind of reminds me of that, you know. Also, it would seem to me that something that would be very off meta would be a fire-based monk in Path of Exile 2. It doesn't seem obvious that fire damage on a monk using a quarterstaff is easy to get. That'll probably be something that I attempt one day. Basic jewel socket. I still don't know what that could mean exactly, but my guess is that you just find jewels that have properties, kind of like in Diablo 2, like certain stats or something on them, and you can just put it in there. Unwavering Stance. Your stun threshold is doubled. Cannot dodge roll. I like that just because I like the idea of pigeonholing you into something like dodge is gone. I like that idea. I wonder what other things they'll do with the dodge roll. Like, I do hope that there are a lot of ways to change it. Maybe from a roll to like a dash or to like a sidestep or something, because that could just look really cool. It could be like super useful on like a fast melee type character. I would like something like that. Mass Hysteria. 6% increased attack speed. Allies in your presence have 6% increased attack speed. Evasion, 8%. Honed Instincts, 8% increased attack speed, 6% increased global accuracy rating, 10 to dexterity. That seems pretty good. That looks like it's at the Ranger Huntress section. He's trying to type in Keystone up there to see if it searches on the tree for it. So you could just search for the type of nodes that you want and then just see where they all are and see if you want a path that way or not. Not doing anything though, it looks like. Yeah, so thanks for watching the video if you made it this far. And if you didn't know, I did do another video that was an in-depth breakdown of some lightning-based skills that the monk could use. I'm just very interested in that right now. It's kind of just like another nerd-out session of support gems and skill gems and things like that. And it's called Lightning Monk Theorycraft, and it's on the channel. You can check that out too if you like. Thanks.